Right, as you're running your rows and laying down your planks, what you want to do is you're going to have a tongue side and a groove side, two opposites. And what you want to do is you want to come in with the groove facing you. You're going to come in with the tongue on a 45 degree. Just slide it in tight, butt it up to the next side, or next end rather. And then get your mallet. Some taps. That's good. Alright, and then a couple tips. When you get to your ends here, what you want to do is you can actually do all this without a measuring tape. You take the straight edge, which is going to be the opposite, so that what's going to happen is that this is going to wind up in this end like this. But to make my cut, I'm going to put it right up against the baseboard here, and then just mark it right where it's going to butt up on the end of the other board, and take your trusty speed square and mark it up, and it's all ready to go make your miter cut. Then what happens is you cut off that piece. You're going to use this piece, and then the other piece is going to be the next end for your starter row on the next row coming down.
Alright, we've come to the most difficult part of the job, and that would be the last row, especially coming up to sections where you don't have a straight line, which would be on the trim here. And what you can do is take a chisel and just chisel off the tongue part of this groove section, and then what you'll want to do is measure your distance here. Probably want to get both measurements just in case it's not perfectly parallel. And then take those measurements and cut your board so that you can have a flat section against the baseboard here. And then with this tongue off the groove chiseled out, then what you'll do is you'll lay down a bead of glue, of carpenter's glue, and then you'll just have to set the board in that way. Now that would be that's really the proper way to do it. What I wanted to do on this one section is I wanted to get, because this is not the last run going into the bathroom here. I'm still going to have to add another piece on here, so I wanted to keep the full tongue on this groove end here. And so what I'm going to do is I've taken this, I've cut this section out, I've scrolled this piece here, and I'm gonna get it kind of started, and then try to tap it up and in. And then on this side, I'm going to have to do kind of the reverse. I'm not sure that that's going to work, but do the best I can with it. We'll see. But at any rate, kind of give you an idea of how to manage your last row.
Okay, we've got the completed room now. As you can see, we got the last row in, going into the bathroom here. And what I did was I did some, I guess you call this shoe molding, and that covers up that last part that's exposed from underneath the baseboards. Now, last thing that I wanted to do is just clarify some of my terminology, what I was talking about just a little while ago. And it has to do with, I kept calling it the tongue of the groove, and that's not correct. What I wanted to explain is that on the boards, you have, if you look at the back of the board, you can really see, here's the tongue, okay? And then this is actually the groove side, which it's very small. But what I did was, and what I was saying, chiseling off a piece, what happens is that tongue kind of slides into the groove, and then what happens is that there's this little part here that makes it snap in place. and keeps it together. So if you just chisel off this little piece here, what you can do for that last run is just slide it in as opposed to snapping it in. And then that way, what you do is you just lay down a bead of wood glue and then put some weight on it, and your last run will stay in place. Okay, so project complete.